We have spent the last 4 briefings performing an autopsy on the world you thought you knew. We looked at the lie of hard work and savings. We dissected the debt that acts as an invisible chain. We felt the heat of the silent thief stealing your life force through inflation. And we looked into the mirror to find the serf mentality that keeps you grateful for your cage. You now see the architecture of the meat grinder. You understand that the system was never designed to produce wealthy citizens. It was designed to produce reliable gears. But understanding the trap is not the same as being free. The question remains, what will you do with this realization? Most will walk away, burdened by the weight of the truth, and return to the comfort of their routines. They will choose the warmth of the herd over the cold air of the summit. But for the few who are still listening, the ones whose spirits have survived the autopsy, this is the final breach. There is only one way to divorce the system. There is only one path that leads from being a product to becoming a person. Ownership. Today, we move from the autopsy to the architecture. We will show you why labor is a dead end, how the elite use the platform strategy, and how to begin building the assets that will eventually own the money that currently owns you. Welcome to the end of your apprenticeship. Welcome to the sovereign mind. The first protocol you must delete is the idea that you can earn your way to freedom through labor. Labor is linear. Ownership is exponential. When you trade your time for a salary, you are not building wealth. You are renting out your existence. You are a tenant in someone else's empire. Whether you are a blue-collar worker or a high-paid surgeon, the fundamental math remains the same. If you stop moving, the income stops flowing. The elite understand that labor is a tax on the uninitiated. When you work for a corporation, you are producing value. Let's say you produce $1,000 of value in a day. The corporation pays you $200. Where does the other $800 go? It goes to the owner. The owner doesn't have to be smarter than you. They don't have to work harder than you. They simply have to own the structure in which you operate. They own the brand, the tools, the intellectual property, and the systems. You are the fuel. They are the engine. The system wants you to focus on increasing your hourly rate. They want you to chase the promotion. Why? Because as long as you are focused on the rate of your labor, you will never look at the ownership of the asset. You are spending your best years building a fortress for a master who will replace you the moment a cheaper gear is found. Freedom begins the moment you stop asking, "How can I earn more?" and start asking, "What can I own that earns for me?" The elite do not hoard currency. They hoard reality. They seek things that cannot be printed, things that solve problems, and things that others are forced to use. There are 4 pillars of ownership that define the sovereign mind. 1. The business pillar, systems. The elite own the protocols. A business is a machine that takes in capital and labor and outputs profit. When you own a business, you own the time of others. You are no longer trading your life force. You are managing the life force of the collective. 2. The intellectual property pillar, code and content. In the digital age, ideas are the new land. A book, an algorithm, a patent, or a digital platform is an asset that works 24/7 without rest. It scales without friction. If you write code that solves a problem once, it can be sold 1,000,000 times while you sleep. This is the ultimate glitch in the matrix. 3. The real estate pillar, the physical earth. The one thing they aren't making more of is land. When you own property, you own a piece of the physical world. You become the landlord of the survival of others. As we learned in video 2, you use the system's own debt to buy the earth, letting inflation pay off your mortgage while the land's value soars. 4. The scarce asset pillar, the shield. Gold, Bitcoin, rare collectibles. These are the lifeboats. They are the assets that the silent thief cannot dilute. They are the storage devices for your energy that sit outside the reach of the central planners. To be a sovereign mind is to move your focus from the paycheck to the portfolio. You must become a collector of pillars. Every hour you spend not building these pillars is an hour you have gifted to the architects of your own cage. How do you transition from a gear to an architect when you are currently trapped in the machine? Most people wait for the perfect time. They wait for the right opportunity. They wait until they feel safe. They will wait until they die. The sovereign mind understands the two-job strategy. Job 1 is for survival. You use the system to feed your physical body. You do your work, you take their currency, and you do not complain. You view this job as a lease on your survival. Job 2, the one that starts when you are tired, the one that happens at 5 a.m. or 10 p.m., is for your soul. This is where you build your assets. This is where you learn the skills of the architect. This is where you acquire the ownership that will eventually buy back your time. This transition is not a side hustle. It is a war of attrition. It is the process of slowly shifting your life force from the master's pot to your own. It is cold. It is lonely. It is exhausting. Your peers will be at the bar or watching the screen or complaining about the government. You will be in the dark, building a machine they cannot see. True wealth requires the courage to be perceived as obsessed or antisocial by those who are still comfortable in their chains. You are trading a few years of exhaustion for a lifetime of sovereignty. If the price feels too high, then stay in the cage. The system needs its reliable gears. Once you move from labor to ownership, your perspective shifts forever. You no longer see prices. You see proportions. You no longer see jobs. You see systems. You realize that the rigged game is only rigged for those who insist on playing by the rules of the servant. When you own the assets, the silent thief of inflation becomes your partner. When you own the systems, the invisible hand of debt becomes your lever. When you delete the serf mentality, the fear of risk becomes the thrill of the hunt. Sovereignty is not about being a billionaire. It is about autonomy. It is the ability to say no to any master. It is the power to protect your family from the whims of the technocratic elite. It is the realization that you are no longer a data point in their algorithm, but the author of your own. This path has no guarantees. There is no pension at the end of the sovereign mind. There is only the reality of what you have built. But in a world that is increasingly designed to harvest the weak, the only thing more dangerous than taking the risk of ownership is the safety of remaining a tenant. The autopsy is over. The blueprint is in your hands. The system will continue to grind. The soup will get thinner. The yardstick will get shorter. The crowd will remain in the classroom, waiting for the bell that will never ring them into freedom. But you You have been initiated. You know the lie. You know the weapon. You know the thief. You know the cage. And now you know the way out. The door has always been open, but only the sovereign have the courage to walk through it and stay out in the cold until they build their own fire. The era of the servant is over. The era of the architect begins. Choose your side